There you
Tia!
go. So there you go, in your little cereal box.
What the hell?
Your grad
Look,
girl.
my graduation photo. No, Tia, you've earned yourself a copy of my official graduation photo. I'm going to order it and I'm going to send one to your home framed.
Mini intro. Well, not mini intro, but something I was looking at this morning. So have you heard of Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady?
So, okay, so I hear people say sprinkle, sprinkle lady. And I, being me, automatically thought, ooh, cupcake decorated.
No, we're so old. We're so old. Right, so I was hearing Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady a lot, right? And people were like, yeah, because I've been listening to Sprinkle Sprinkle. And I was like, who is this? But I didn't want to ask anybody, right? So then today, I was just scrolling through TikTok because, you know, getting on the socials, woohoo. And I saw like a clip of a girl like screaming at a man, and someone was like, this like obviously it's a man. And he was like, this are your queens. She's screaming at a man, da 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 da.
Oh, was it the lady and they'll buy a lift?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was also confused because I saw people saying, oh, is this your... I think it's the same video. It was like, is this your queen?
Yeah.
So I thought it was like Real Housewives of Potomac or something. I'm just so... I'm actually out of the loop. Like, so I thought it was Real Housewives of Potomac or something. Because I just didn't get the reference. And they looked like another couple that I think is on that show.
Okay.
But then they were like, is this your queen? And then I looked at the comments. They were like, oh, this is why you shouldn't...
follow influencers, yeah.
And I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
So when I saw this, I was like, so I saw the hashtags and it was like Cindy and Pumpkin, Sprinkle Sprinkle. So I'm like, oh, is this a Sprinkle Sprinkle person, right? So I've typed in now Sprinkle Sprinkle. And then a completely different woman, like an older lady came up. And I was just a bit like, this is not making sense. So then I went back to the original video and then it was like, I tapped on another hashtag, which was Cindy and Pumpkin. And then I started understanding a whole narrative. So I'll break it down for you because I feel really young right now. I feel like so Gen Z. It's cute.
Well, you ruined whatever Gen Z coolness you're going after with that little head shake you just did.
I possibly did.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
a nerd.
Okay. We're getting there. We're learning. Because I thought it was I honestly thought it was cake decorated.
So Sprinkle Sprinkle is what's her name? Her name's 7 something S. It begins with an S. I'll find it. So she is all about like how to get a high value man. That type of stuff, right? High value man, and men don't like a woman. You've got like one of her videos was like, you've got to be mean to men because when she was nice to men, it never worked for her. And when she started being mean. And actually, I saw another guy, a guy said the Sprinkle Sprinkle method works. This is so interesting. This part of the internet is so interesting. Interesting. Because there was a guy and he was like, the reason Sprinkle Sprinkle method works is because men love the chase and they love being rewarded for the chase.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
So that was his point, which I was like, okay, fair. I can kind of understand that. They like the reward after. Yeah. But it doesn't always work in real life anyway, but that's another conversation for another day. Anyway, so the whole genre of Sprinkle Sprinkle is about, I don't want to say being your best self, but getting the high value man or the man that's going to treat you well and give you the best life kind of thing.
Okay.
And then back to the video we saw.
Yeah.
This is a girl who was a sugar baby, essentially.
Okay.
And she started making content with her sugar daddy. Right?
I thought like sugar daddies usually want to remain anonymous.
Yeah, he didn't.
Okay.
Like, to be fair, at first, there was like something always covering, like an emoji always covering his face from the videos I've seen. Again, I only saw this morning, so forgive me if I don't know everything to the T. Anyway, he gets her pregnant. And
that's a wild move.
And someone said a sugar baby should never get pregnant by her sugar
Not that,
daddy.
I'm here saying it like I'm in the society and I don't know the
we
rules.
don't do that.
But I always, because with me, I always associate sugar daddies with like older married men who just have these like side
girls. Young girls.
That's why I find it quite interesting that he actually didn't want to remain anonymous, because I thought a lot of them would want to, because obviously they have families. But then I'm assuming he's single if she got pregnant for him, right? Right?
I think he had a family but not married.
Okay.
So he had
okay.
kids and stuff of whatever side.
Okay, so like a previous relationship kind of thing. Okay, cool.
But like he got her, she moved into her apartment, whatever have you. But someone was saying, and he'll probably just leave and go to his mansion. Do you get me? Because he's rich.
Of course, yeah. Who is downgrading themselves or moving into an apartment with you where they have a whole mansion?
So
that's your little kennel.
So then apparently other people, so when I was reading that, TikTok will have like people's takes on things.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like, oh, the minute she got pregnant, he started acting up. So before, it was all luxury content, but the two of them, like they'll be cooking together, they'll do this together, they'll do that, and showcasing the sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship kind of thing. Yeah, and all the pluses of it. And then now, obviously, she got pregnant, and someone was like, from the time she got pregnant, he started moving weird.
So it's not even money that separates these men. They're all the same. Rich or broke. All the same.
And then now, like, he completely, like, I mean, it's back and forth. Like, they are screaming at each other. So I think that video we saw was an old video because she was pregnant at the time. Now she's had the baby.
Okay.
And you can tell the relationship's completely broke down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing takes on like how he doesn't even really like people that are not like him, like from his ethnic background.
So he don't like black women.
Yeah.
But he likes them enough to sleep with them and get them pregnant.
Yeah. So that's apparently, again, this is the stuff I was seeing on TikTok. So I was like, and again, I watched it this morning. It is 10 o'clock.
Do you know what? Yeah, I will say, and I think I've said this before, probably not on the podcast, but there is, I'm really worried about this whole rise in popularity with like feminine coaches.
Oh, yeah.
I sometimes I come across it on YouTube, and it'll be like how to be a lady, how to attract a high value man, how to be a high value woman, how to be feminine, etc. I find it extremely dangerous because, again, I think we spoke about this in the previous podcast. The way society is set up already is already difficult for women, especially black women, to now have these coaches who are essentially preying on these insecurities, so preying on insecure people, and essentially using their insecurities to generate income for themselves through these videos, etc. With very misleading advice. I find it very dangerous. You find a lot of these feminine coaches are usually women that fit within the beauty standards. So it's usually women of lighter tones. It's usually women with natural long hair, or do you get what I mean? Like they already have an advantage in themselves. Like they already have an advantage by even just being themselves. The thing that could work for you may not necessarily work for another person. It won't work for me. I can't, how do I explain it? The way society is set up and the way, prejudice is set up, we've got stuff like colorism, etc., that all play a role in how we are deemed attractive. For these women to now to brand themselves as feminine coaches and make you believe that if you follow these rules, if you just get a French manicure instead of the long nails, if you, get a bob instead of the long weave, etc., you attract rich men. I think it's very dangerous. Also, I hate the whole emphasis of, the only way to make it and be successful is to get a rich man. I've never, ever bought into the idea that a rich man is going to come in and save me. I don't like that idea. And I don't think it's a healthy mindset to have, especially in this day and age. Like I said, how many rich men actually are in the UK? Cool. Now we sit down to how many rich men in the UK like black women?
Speak it.
How many rich men how many rich black men are there in the UK? Now, how many of us have access to them? And I don't like to dog down on people's dreams, etc. But we have to be realistic. We actually have to be realistic.
Also, I feel like there's like it's so limiting because you're saying that. So, how many rich men do we have in the UK? How many rich men do we have in the UK that like black women?
Mhm.
How many rich men do we have in the UK that like black women that know how to treat a woman well with the
Exactly.
wealth? Because then you've got to talk about ego and what they've learnt, how they've learnt
Exactly.
to treat people because they have money. That's another thing as
And
well.
that's not to say that rich men are like wicked by default. That's not what we're saying. But also, even how do I say, with a lot of rich people, they tend to stay in their circles. The probability of a rich man marrying outside of his social circle is quite low. Unless you're, and I guess that's why these women are basically trying to teach people how to intentionally place themselves
in those
proximity
spaces, yeah.
with these rich men. But even then, again, there's a lot of factors that play into it. People think it's just by going to the right bar, by doing a French manicure instead of having long nails or like dressing a particular way. You can't dress your way up that social ladder.
Yeah.
You actually can't. There's so many other factors that play into it.
It's things that you wouldn't even know about, like you're not
Exactly.
aware of, that are your natural ways of being. And even so, again, as I said, like we're saying all this, but my point being, like, when you could have control of your own destiny,
Yeah.
why
would you put that in
someone else's hands? Because they can also they can give, but they can also take. And I get it where we say like, even I saw another clip where a girl had a sugar daddy, and he took her to court because she didn't give him what he wanted, so sex. And
they can sue for that.
No, the man, so the man was suing.
The man sued.
He tried to sue. So he took her to court. She's 27. He's like 60. And then he gave his phone to the judge to see the conversations that they had. And because he was like, oh, it was a loan. And the judge was looking through it. I was like, I'm still struggling to see where the loan was mentioned.
Where was the loan?
Where the loan was mentioned. And he was like, oh, it's in there about words. And she was like, no, it isn't. What happened was you spent money. You'd said, all right, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that, with the intention of having sex with this young woman because you're 60 something and she's 27.
Look at this bigger buyer.
And now, because she hasn't given you the sex, now you want to sue and you want to claim your money back. She was like, you played the game, you gambled and you lost.
Shameless. My man's had to say that it's her loan. Because of Nyash, okay, so then she gives you the Nyash and then the loan is automatically cancelled. She don't have to pay back.
Crazy.
You don't have children to focus on. You're suing someone because they essentially will not have sex with you.
Crazy. And
Screaming.
that is the thing. I'm like, to give someone else, and this isn't even men particular, but to give someone else that power of your life, oh my God, I would be on the ropes. I would be on the ropes.
You can't even talk to my man sideways during the argument because that's the allowance for that month cut off.
Huh?
Nah, I can't do it. My mouth is too sharp, I'll actually suffer.
But what if I'm irritated? So I'll just sit there like,
I'll
it's
just start
okay.
twitching. One day I'll just lash out. Just lash out and throw a pen at you. I can't. What do you mean? Because of money. I will go hungry. I'm fighting you.
And I'm the type of person, when I lash out, when I get there, you know me, I want the world to burn to cinders. I
can't even do it because you won't eat. You will not eat for that month. Talk to that man sideways and you're not eating.
No.
You will eat that Chanel handbag.
Having to be a good girl. Good girl. Oh, sorry. No.
Even when you're not in the mood, they're just there annoying you. Can't say nothing.
When you're repulsed.
Can't say nothing.
You know when you're looking at them like, why do you breathe like that?
Can't even, because they won't even clear your basket for the month. It can't. That's torture.
Hell.
Let me be poor and have control. Let me be poor and have control.
Word.
I can't do it.
Someone over my life.
Over my life.
Life.
And now you lot are fighting on TikTok and I'm there thinking it's over cupcakes. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, no wonder. That is so interesting. Well, to be honest, it was sounding a bit messy from when she got pregnant.
Yeah.
It's just it just sounds like it's against all the rules.
Yeah.
It sounded like they tried a thing and it went awfully wrong.
But that's like, like in general though, like, see, when you get into situations for a certain purpose, right? I think in love and relationships, that can go so left so often. Like
Of course.
you might, eh, I don't know, like when you're going into a love situation for, and I don't want to say using, but I'm going to say it for ease of speech, but to gain something from it.
Mhm.
I feel like things to do with your heart, techie, because all now you'll slip and be in love.
I, I don't think it's even about falling in love. There's just always someone that has the upper hand. And
It's
that
not a
alone
nice dynamic.
that alone will lead to problems. Because again, you feel like you can't express yourself. You can't, flag certain things. You have to kind of endure things because you literally can't eat if you do chat, which is crazy. Well, good luck to them. Good luck to her. Maybe she should get into cake decorating now. I feel like do something with the brand since it's collapsed now. Because there's no way you're going to teach me. There's no way I'm now going to allow you to teach me the ways of life. Because sis...
Can I say something though? Unpopular opinion. You see those like how to be feminine stuff, yeah, that they're seeing now. I find it so gross.
Oh no, it's terrible.
I find it so gross.
And I'm sorry, I find those girls so boring. Because you can't be yourself. You can't have an ounce of personality, nothing. You're just there constantly worrying about coming across prim and proper.
I find it so gross.
Me, that's there. I'm your worst. Please.
And it gives very male gaze. Like,
please, man.
And I do understand, like, people will say, like, women do stuff for men in general, yada, yada, yada. But, like, I don't, for a lot of us, it's not at the forefront of our mind. It's not like, what do men think? Do you get what I mean? Whereas that is very much like, I'm going to eat like this. Or when you sit like this. Or you wear... no.
Listen, on that day, I'm going to tear up them chicken wings with my fingers. Sorry.
I'm a whole human being.
Sorry. Because then you have to maintain that. That's not me.
Because really, you end up, what is it? Like, there was a show where they were like mechanical wives. I can't remember. It was on Channel 4 when we was young. Oh my God. I'll find it.
It's not coming to me.
I'll find it. But it just gives very robotic, very like, I'm a housewife. I'm here to make you happy.
God forbid, man. About you want me to be doing up knife and fork. How am I supposed to eat mashed and rice with a knife and fork? You need a spoon. You need a spoon to gather. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, it's just so unrealistic.
Yeah.
And like, if it works for you, cool, fine. But
kudos to you, girl. If it works for you, brilliant. You're killing it.
But
not me.
As someone who's ultimately married, I would say a lot of it was just being myself. You have to be yourself because say it does lead to a situation where it's like lifelong commitment, whether it's marriage, whether it's a child, etc.
Yeah.
There eventually you're going to expose the real you. And that's when shit will crumble. Because if you're not authentic from the very beginning and we're not all, let's be honest, we do put on a show at the very beginning, we want to impress the person of interest, etc. But eventually you do start to show your true character, etc. If you're hiding that all up until, I don't know, again, you get pregnant, you get married, etc. One day you will lose guard. The whole act, you will let it slip. And what will happen is that once you show your authentic self and it's not necessarily what that person liked about you, that's when shit starts to go left. So I say that to say this, go and make your own money. Don't rely on any man, please, please. Because, please, imagine not being able to speak because if you speak, there's no allowance for the month, which means you're not eating, which means now that Chanel bag is starting to look like a good piece of fried chicken.
Hell.
Actually, no, if I did get into that situation, I would sell the bag.
Yeah.
I always said that if I ever got a sugar daddy, instead of like buying like handbags and stuff, I'll just stash away the money.
Well, this is what...
For like my fuck you money.
But this is what the girl did. So the girl that the man took her to court, he invested in her business, her eyelash business.
Eyelash business. Sorry, sis. Please.
No, the girlies.
That's not enough to change your life. You need to invest in stuff that you know that if you say shut up, you're good. You're good for at least 3 to 4 years. Eyelash business. Sis, please.
A baby girl's got to start somewhere.
Nah, man.
Got to start
That's
somewhere.
not changing your life.
One day it might.
That's not changing your life immediately. You need to invest in stuff where if you say shut up, yeah, you can say it with your chest. And you know you're going to be able to eat for the next 3 to 4 years. Not eyelash pieces where you're there begging people on TikTok to buy it from your TikTok storefront. Please, man. Focus. Properties. Invest in stocks and share something. Oh, I sound like one of them annoying wealth coaches on Twitter. What is it? He wants wealth. But I like him, yeah, because he gets some people going. He would make the wildest take, and I'm like, you don't even believe what you're saying. But you see everyone in the quote tweets shouting and screaming, tearing their singlets. And he's just sitting there like, well, I said what I said. I didn't say it was great advice.
But it's advice.
But it's advice.
How was your week?
You know what? My week was good. I'm like really tired because it's been a long week. But your girl is finally, officially, a graduate. So yeah, I graduated on Wednesday. For further context, I have been studying law with business for the past 5 years, part-time whilst working full-time. Anyone that follows me on socials over the years probably thinks I'm absolutely unbearable because it at one point was all I spoke about. But it was a very big part of my life and it's finally over. I can finally close that chapter of my life. It was traumatic as hell, but it's done and I've graduated. Do you know what's so funny? At my graduate, my mum took a picture holding my degree but told me to get out of the photo. Sis was just...
But she graduated, didn't she?
She has 2 degrees. But literally, we were taking pictures. She's like, yeah, now you stand away. So I was like, okay, let me take the degree. She's like, no.
Huh?
And there's a picture of her holding my degree.
Well, that's
so
okay.
That's how I know this wasn't for me.
Yeah, but like she'll just send it to her family.
It was just very much for her, but I'm not in the picture though.
Yeah, but it's Steph's degree. It's her daughter.
Yeah, but then shouldn't I be in the photo? It's just her in front of her car holding the degree. I was like, this is very much for you. You know what? Keep it. Fine. But it's done and I'm happy. But now I just think about all the crazy things I had to go through to complete that damn degree. And my deadlines used to be on a Monday at 11:59. So what I'll find...
That's crazy.
So what I'll find is that after work, when everyone's going home, I open up my assignment and I am fighting for my life. One time, I literally worked up until, I believe it was like midnight. So I just submitted my assignment. I was still in the office, bear in mind. As in the lights were going off, you know the sensor lights? So I had to every 15 minutes, I'm having to move around because it literally just goes pitch black. So I'm like, okay, cool. I've submitted everything. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can, because I never used to want to go home without completing the assignment. Because I'll put, in your head, you're like, oh yeah, once I get home, I'll just start and just, submit. I didn't want to take the risk because I know me. I can come through and I'll just sit on my bed. Next thing I work till I'm waking up at 11 o'clock. Assignment not done. And I've just woken up from a nap. So I was like, cool, let me stay in the office and get this assignment done. Typing, submitted it, calm. It's now just like, I'll say about 5 minutes past midnight. I went downstairs so that I can leave. Obviously, it's way past closing hours, so I have to go through the security way.
Mm-hmm.
So I go through the back, I get downstairs, go through the back, etc. I look at the desk where the security guy is supposed to be. Empty. He's not there. I'm like, okay, maybe he went to the toilet, but surely I could still go out. So I use my pass to try and tap out. At this point, it's so late, my pass ain't even working.
Does that happen?
Yeah. So my pass ain't even working. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just wait. Maybe like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm sure the security guard will be back. Tia, 20 minutes go past. I'm like, okay, cool. There's no way there's not a security guard in this building. Maybe he's done a walk around. Let me just wait a bit more. 10 minutes go by. Nothing. So now I'm starting to panic because I'm like, how am I going to get out? I'm looking at this emergency exit button. I'm like, if I touch this, I don't know if the alarm's going to go off. And then the alarm goes off and like the police is automatically called because they think someone's breaking in, I'm going to have to explain to HR why I'm in the building at midnight. And at this time, very few people knew that I was studying at the same time. So I was really conscious about like work and my uni work getting mixed together,
Mm.
whatever. Waiting. Now it gets to 1 a.m. I'm starting to panic. I'm like, I do not know where the security guard is. I'm like, at this point, I'm going to have to press the emergency button.
Mm-hmm.
Tia, I press the emergency button, yeah? And because I'm so scared and I'm conscious of the cameras, I start running. So imagine I've pressed the emergency exit button, pushed the door open, shut it, and I'm running through the car park. So I'm not even the car park. You know where like trucks go through the back ways to like do food deliveries and stuff.
Okay.
Running through there, yeah. The barrier's also down. So now I'm having to do James Bond and run under the barrier. I literally run out of the view of the CCTV cameras. Tia, I was so paranoid, yeah. The moment I got home, the first thing I did was send an email to HR confessing what I had done. I was like, just in case the alarm goes off, I just wanted to let you know that this, like, I had to press the emergency exit because there was no security guard. I literally waited an hour. So the whole day, the next day, yeah, I'm literally refreshing my inbox, waiting for like a response. I'm like, please respond to me. I was like, I'm fired. This is it. Like, the police must have come last night and it must have been the whole kerfuffle and they're trying to figure out the next steps. Tell me why HR sends me a casual email, one line. Hey, Steph. So sorry about that. Spoke to the security guard. Turns out he was on his lunch, but he was on his like break. He was at McDonald's. Yeah, all good. For you to use the emergency exit, totally understand.
Huh? Well, you must have done a
semi-clearing my desk, writing up my handover notes for my projects, thinking I have literally. They probably called the police. That's the
scariest thing. See, when you're worried about police being there,
I didn't know what happens when you press the and it says literally do not press. Unless there's like a sign like do not press it. So I was like, this is it. It's over. I'm there like, I need to just start doing my handover notes because they're going to get rid of me. They're probably like trying to figure out next steps. Anyway, I say all of that to say I am officially a graduate. All gifts are welcomed.
No.
Thank you for the cake. Tia's still trying to get over the fact that other friends bought me a gift to say congratulations. She did send me a whole chocolate cake. Now, considering the fact that I'm trying to change my life around, I feel like that was a setup.
Okay, so let's talk about it because, yeah, I got you this cake, right? And then on the day, actually, no. Yeah, on the day the cake was being delivered, Steph has a breakdown and is like, yeah, I'm not eating anymore. I'm not eating bad things anymore. I'm going to be on my health journey, and you just bought me a cake. This is after she's received the cake and had some of the cake, which you didn't even bring a slice for me.
Whilst it's still frozen. How you want me to carry chocolate cake on top of all the stuff that I carry?
Word. If you were
So why don't you just buy yourself a chocolate cake?
Anyway, so then she's like, oh my God, I'm feeling so loved this graduation. Like, my friends are buying me things. And also, like, see Steph, she came really nice and she was like, oh my God, thank you. But Steph is never like that.
I don't understand. Was I not supposed to say thank you?
You were just a bit too nice with it.
I was like, multiple gifts. Of course, I'm going to be too nice.
Okay, you'll be nice about it to other people. The fact that when you started being nice to me, I'm like, it's all right. Yeah, it's cool. And then I was like, it's the least I could do. Like, get over it. And then, then she's like, oh, I just feel so loved because, my friends be buying me things. Like, someone got me a hamper.
Sorry, I feel like, are you jealous because people are buying me things?
Or, I buy you things.
Yeah, other people buy me things too. I get, actually, shout out to my friends because I actually get quite a few gifts. So, actually, shout out to them. But yeah, I'm finally a graduate. But yeah, how was your week?
It's been good. It's been good. I was going to talk about, like, being dedicated and accountable because that's always a thing. Me and accountability. No, I'm going to talk about perseverance this week.
Oh, here we go. Sermon. Go on, take the stage.
So this week, last week I sat down with Steph and I kind of spoke to her about my personality and how I'm tired of being a soggy, dirty dishcloth of a person. That is very harsh.
A way to describe yourself.
That sounds so
Do you know what?
hard.
When you said that, it reminded me that I actually need to buy a new dishcloth. So thank you for that. Something came out of it.
You know when it's like it's been used too much of the J cloths?
Yeah.
When it's soggy and wet
Like,
and yucky.
You no longer use it to wipe down the desktops. It's like the tabletops is now used. It's now used to like clean up spills on the floor.
Yeah, it's a floor rag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of being a floor rag.
Mm.
And not in the sense that, people are stepping all over me. I just feel like I'm a very sensitive person, as you know. And I just wanted to have a bit more oomph to me, a bit more resilience. And so I've been working on that recently. So yeah, and praying about it. So this week I've and I'm a panicker. I'm a huge panicker because anxiety had me in a chokehold all through my 20s. And it still crops up a little piece in my face. I'm in my first year of my phase. No, first year? I'm still I'm in my first year of my phase. But yeah, so now I I just wanted to change it a bit. I wanted to have a bit of fight in me. And especially like we had this conversation about launching a podcast, and it was like you have to have a little bit of
you gotta want it, because even just like obviously we've been doing this for what is this, episode 5? Look at me acting like it's like 150. Like, what is this episode? I mean, it's literally episode 5. But even just learning how much work goes into a podcast, I think some people do just start, and kudos to them. Because it's even takes bravery to even go ahead and get to the point where you're recording.
I mean, for
but
us,
to really put in effort, etc. The amount of work that goes into it, you really have to want it, especially during the period where the numbers aren't huge. You're just starting out. You're not making money. You're spending money. You've got to be willing to fight for it in order to show up every week and actually do it. So yeah, I think we were talking about like just. Not that you don't want it. It's more of like, even in your work life, like, because we're very different people, like, gotta fight. I'm not saying go into work and start punching people, but like,
just not be as sensitive.
You've got to know, you got to know, and things are gonna go wrong because that's natural in life. But you must be able to have enough fight in yourself to still show up and not let it slow you down or like
make you quit.
Or you're too busy wasting time wallowing in your emotions and feelings, but rather use that energy to drive you further, if that makes sense, and continue to and push you actually to continue to show up.
Yeah, and that's where I am, and I think generally, I do my mentality, and I think a lot of people my mentality to work and my mentality for myself are two different things. So with work, I'll die on that hill for work. Do you know what I mean? I will work all the hours. I'll do all the things. And like, it's not about me. And I think when it started to become a bit more about me, I was like, okay, I really need to fix my attitude towards myself and just stop being a flipping dirty wet wipe of a person. Again, very harsh.
Maybe drop the dirty.
No, because the dirty means I feel soggy, just soft.
It just feels like, I don't think it's dirty. You're not a wet wipe. You're just super sensitive. And sometimes the sensitivity I think with a lot of people, sometimes when you're too sensitive, it can be almost crippling.
Yeah.
Like, it paralyzes you.
But also, just so everyone knows, the reason I speak like this, because actually I'm quite harsh in my brain. I'm harsh in the way I view things. So like Steph will be like, you're really being exaggerated. And I'm like from one extreme to the other. So I'm either super soft or no days off. Do you get what I mean? Like it's just very extreme. So that's why. But yeah, anyway, my I think I've been doing well with it. I felt very much like calm and collected in what would be stressful situations. And I'm very much like, okay. And also when you don't panic, you get things done because there's a bit more clarity in the way you think. Do you get what I mean? And that's where I'm at. So I'm just a bit more like, okay, challenge. And more so I'm seeing challenges as a good thing. Before, when I'd hit problems, I'd see them as problems. Like, oh, this is not ideal. Like, what do I do? Whereas now I'm like, because I've been thinking about it so much and praying on it, I've been like, oh, that's not bad. That is just a situation in which I will learn. I'll come out on the other side of, and I'll know how to deal with similar situations going forward. So it's just becoming like, oh, this is a fun challenge. Think about it like a mental obstacle course. Do you get what I mean? And obstacle courses are fun. So yeah, that's where that's where I am with this week.
Thank
also,
you so much, Pastor Chris.
There's always something every week.
This is your wholesome section, so I'll let you take the suit as the deaconess that you are and do your little weekly sermon.
Judge your blessings here.
Yeah, she's very much wholesome. So I let you take her. You don't like after praise and worship. Like, I feel like the intro is praise and worship, yeah, and then you come in to do your little little weekly devotion. And then, you know, like at the end, the woman that comes up to do the announcements like, can the youth club please stay behind? Please, if you're part of the youth club, please stay behind. We are going to hold our bi-weekly meeting. Also, we have a few birthday celebrants in the building. Please, if your birthday is in the week of April 12th, please stay behind. We would like to bless you and also celebrate you. Also, Candy Car, a Toyota Pyros XN175PV. Please move your car.
That happens at weddings a lot, by the way.
Yeah, nah, churches, yeah. Because you know when you're late for church, you see people that are late for church, they're audacious. They will park right behind you. You're not going anywhere. And then those are the same people, yeah, after church, they'll be there gisting for half an hour. You're just trying to go home. You're just trying to... People are going irate outside. You're in the church, gisting, legs crossed, talking to the deacon. Like to say you haven't blocked in the whole church. People are fighting for their lives in the car park. Your car is literally just parked across, blocking the damn gate.
Audacity is a great thing, you know. It's fantastic.
Honestly, I used to hate that in church. But yeah, that's very much like your lane, and then I do the announcements afterwards.
Can I just say though, on cars, yeah, can we have a conversation about people learning to drive during rush hour? Brother, I was in a car. I was Ubering on Monday morning. And, all right, I think one of the tunnels is shut already. So it's ram jam. And it is like, I've had to get to work super early. So it is like 8 o'clock in the morning. I think it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. There is a learner driver in front of my taxi.
Hey!
And the thing is, yeah.
During rush hour.
Why choose then?
No.
On a Monday morning, when you know everyone is going to work. Sorry. When you, on a Monday morning, when you know everyone is going to work, why are you there doing 20 miles an hour on the dot in front of my car during rush hour?
I don't know why they allowed learner drivers to even come out of their yards anywhere before 10 a.m.
Why?
Don't come out until I'm at my desk and I don't have nowhere to be. Because you see, it's when it's rush hour and you're in a rush, that's when they decide that they want to learn how to parallel park. Why does your driving instructor have you out on the streets during rush hour?
He hates you.
He hates you.
He hates you.
Knowing that we're going to abuse the hell out of you. Listen, even on my way here, this is actually quite unfortunate. So, I was at one of those traffic lights here where they have the ones that go straight ahead, certain lanes that go straight ahead and certain lanes that will turn.
Yeah. And
that's on like both sides.
Okay.
So this poor learner driver, I actually felt sorry for them, was turning, it would have been their right, which crosses over our lanes. So bear in mind, you have a limited amount of time to make that turning before the people straight ahead are able to go. Please tell me why my guy has made it halfway through and stalled. You've stalled. The cars behind you are blocking where the people that will be turning right on my side will be going. You're running out of time. I can see the guy is visibly panicked.
Now shaking. Yeah,
so they're not even like trying to start the car. People start beeping. Our lights go green, which means we can now go straight ahead. If we go straight ahead, we're dusting all of you. So now everyone's just beeping at them. I'm like, bro, get it together, put the car on and start moving. I kid you not, the light changed red again on our side. Everyone was going like beeping everywhere. Eventually, the driver instructor had to take over. I could see the driver instructor was taking over because you see when they lean over and start touching the steering wheel. You know when the driver instructor touches the steering wheel, just it means you failed. You failed in life. If you are driving with your driving instructor and they have to take control not only of the pedals but the steering wheel as well, you're finished. It's done. Move back your test.
So I have a story about this, right? So obviously I'm taking Uber because your girl don't drive yet. And that is a thing because I'm moving out of London this year. So I need to do that. But anyway, so I've been learning to drive for a long time. I've never booked a test, to be fair, but I've been learning to drive for a long time, like almost 10 years now. And shades me, because I saw your lip. I saw your lip quiver.
I'm tired at this point because I actually have nothing left to say.
Love it. Anyway, so a couple years ago, I decided I wasn't going to do manual. And because, again, in my early 20s, anxiety is through the roof. And I decided I was going to do a Steph. So me and Steph were doing our driving lessons at the same time. And
did you just give me a day look?
Yeah, I did.
Because I actually went through and passed.
No, actually, well, it's more so that I tried to catch up with you. And I don't know why I did that. Because I felt...
Don't stop trying to catch up with me. I walked out of my first test. I didn't even make it out the car park. Because sis, she told me to reverse. And I was like, oh, should I do it now? And she was really rude. And she was like, yeah. I was like, are you going to fail me? And she's like, you have to do it first before I can fail you. And I was like, okay, no, your attitude's a bit... I walked out.
Yeah, because see, if I'm nervous already and you're giving me attitude, I'm out.
I'm not even going to hit those streets. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to try and make me feel nervous on these streets. Because with that attitude and my nerves, we're stalling everywhere.
Yeah. Word.
We are causing traffic. No one's going anywhere that day.
Yeah.
So I did what was best for me. And I walked out. My driving instructor was fuming. I remember it's the same one that laughed at me about Trafficate.
Oh, yeah.
I remember he was having a cigarette and a coffee. He was standing outside with his coffee mug and a cigarette. And he literally looked at me. He saw me coming and his face dropped. He's like, what are you doing here? I was like, oh yeah, I failed. She was too rude, so I'm not doing it. He was like, what? I was like, no, she was too rude. I'm not doing it. She's going to fail me. He literally drove me home in silence that day.
Yeah, well, actually, you're right.
I know when I feel bad vibes. I need a certain type of environment in order to perform.
Yeah.
The guy that did my test after that was actually really nice and I passed.
Because you can't be now doing a test. Your anxiety is already so high, and then you're giving me attitude as well.
I already know you're about to fail me. I can feel it in my chakras.
So I'm
not going anywhere.
And then I'm nervous now because I'm trying to impress you, and now I'm going to stall.
We're not going anywhere.
No.
We're not going anywhere. Go on.
So anyway, the last time I realised I was never going to drive a manual again, yeah. So we're in East London, and like where East Ham there's a huge roundabout, different directions going to Barking, this, da. But there's I don't know, I think there's like 5 exits or something on that roundabout. So I've got to the roundabout. Then I've turned in, and as I've turned to go around the roundabout, I've stalled. And at that point, again, I was doing long lessons. I think I was doing long lessons. So I was doing like 3-hour, 4-hour lessons. I was copying Stephanie. I don't have Stephanie's capacity, so there we go. And after those lessons, because they were so long, my anxiety and my stress hormones are like here. So like I'd have to come home and sleep. I can't.
Oh yeah, no, those crash course lessons, you have to come home. You can't speak to anyone. You just go straight to bed.
Yeah.
And you have to use that time to recover because the intensity of driving. The only reason I'm convinced, the only reason why I passed my test is because I hate my driving instructor so much.
Really?
I couldn't bear the thought of doing any additional hours with him again because it wasn't even the same driving instructor at this point it wasn't the Trafficate driving instructor. It was a crash course one, and he was super religious and thought everything was like down to the devil.
Do you know what? There's a lot of bad ones.
He used to preach to me whilst I was driving. So literally, that was the only thing that motivated me to pass it because I was like, I cannot do any more lessons with this man. I think one time I wore like a top or something, and he was like, it was devilish. And then he started preaching to me throughout the whole lesson. And I literally had to tell him, I think I lied to him. God forgive me. I lied to him and said I was another religion. Just so he will stop preaching. I was like, I find it really offensive that you preach to me. I'm not Christian.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. But bear in mind, I had a cross tattoo. So I had to,
She said,
I was there turning my wrist so you couldn't see it. But I literally had to tell him that I'm of another religion just to get him to stop. That's the only thing that pushed me to pass the test. I was literally like, I cannot do any more hours with this man. I have to pass. I have to pass.
I've got a story about that because I had the worst driving instructor. But anyway, so I get to this roundabout and obviously I'm panicking, anxiety's through the roof. And my brain's just, again, every now and then my brain switches to chaos. So it's either I care a lot or I don't care at all. And no in between. So at this point, I've said, God, take the wheel. And I've taken both my hands and I've said, God, take the wheel. And I can see my driving instructor panic because obviously we're at a roundabout. We've stalled on the roundabout, not even in a lane. So obviously cars are coming. He's been like, he's done this.
His life
He was like, you know what?
Before his eyes.
He was shocked. He was
I know my man wanted to dash you out the car. I just know he wanted to dash you out the car.
He couldn't believe it. The panic in those few seconds when he was starting the car himself and pressing the.
You're finished. I told you, when they take control of the pedals and the steering wheel, go home.
Yeah.
You're not ready.
After that, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing.
On a roundabout.
So
everyone's life was just flashing before their eyes.
Words,
everybody.
words.
Both the driving instructor, the people coming towards you, everybody. God's looking down at you like, who told you that I know how to drive manual? You're here telling me to take the wheel.
What?
No, that's insanity. Please, just do automatic.
And that's why I went to automatic. And again, it was so different because I love driving now. And I used to hate it. And that like level of anxiety, I don't get it. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely auto. Talking about driving instructors, right? So I had the biggest creep of a driving instructor. And it put me off driving for time. So, and there were small little things that I didn't clock. Like, you know when someone's doing things and saying things and it starts subtle and then so first of all, it would start like, I remember I would be wearing a crop top kind of thing, yeah? Go to the lesson. And one day I was trying to buckle the belt and it wasn't buckling properly. And I was like, but I was struggling with it. But then he was like, it's okay, I'll do it. The man reached over me, like so. And I'm like, no, it's fine, I've got it. He's like, no, I can do it. I was like, oh, that's weird. Again, social cues, sometimes I miss them. Sometimes I miss them. Cool. Then I was like, I was staying at my friend's place. So I was like, I won't be able to do driving lesson at this time. I'm staying at my friend's place. It's like, oh, you're not staying at home. I was like, nah. Again, didn't clock it. Fine. Then one day, I was like, oh, I won't be able to do my lesson because I'm doing carnival. So I think I was playing maths, whatever have you. So I was like, playing carnival. And he was like, oh, okay, send me nudes.
Sorry?
Word.
From where to where?
Word.
Wait, you said you're playing carnival and he said, oh, that's nice. Send me nudes.
Words.
No, we actually need to report this man. Wait, what?
And like,
my man said, wait, you said you're going to play carnival and he said, yeah, that's nice. Send me nudes. That's what he's been waiting. I'm going to tell you now, that's what he's been waiting to ask you since the first lesson. He didn't even look for any kind of in. He said, any sentence you say after that, I'll ask him for the nudes. I don't even care. You can say, I went down the road to the shop. He'll say, send me nudes.
I was like, what? And obviously, I'm leaving the car. So parked at my house. I was like, I didn't even know what to do. I can't remember what I said to that. But I was like,
he said, send me nudes.
Send me nudes. And he had an accent, so I didn't clock it at first. So I was like, sorry? I was like, okay, cool. So I think I've come out the car and I had like little crystal bracelets on at the time. And obviously, because I've rushed out the car, I've left one of the bracelets in there. So I've remembered and I've messaged him and I've been like, oh, can I just get my bracelets? Or like, and then I think he was like, oh, just pick it up on the next lesson. And I didn't want to do lessons with him again. So I didn't. I was like, you know what? Screw the bracelet. We don't need to worry about that. Stephanie, believe me when I tell you, like probably like a week, 2 weeks later, I hear on my door. I come to my door.
It's not him.
Why is my driving instructor at my door?
It's not him. He came back.
He came to my house.
You do realise that's harassment.
And he was like, oh, when are you going to book your lesson?
That's sexual harassment. You're being sexually harassed. That was sexual harassment.
Steph.
That man is sick.
Steph. Listen, put me off for time. And then, because of that experience, when I was doing lessons again, I was like, no, I want a woman instructor. I need a female instructor because I'm not doing that. And obviously, we don't have as many females as we do men.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it was like, and again, like, I did end up having a female instructor. She's great. She's fantastic. And again, I was doing automatic. So it was all really, I had a brilliant experience after that. But like it took me years again before I was comfortable. I think this time round, so like last year, I started lessons with a man.
Yeah.
And at this point, obviously, I'm more confident to advocate for myself and be like, actually, we're not going to do. And to be fair, he was fine. Like he's very calm. Like he was normal. He was normal. Yeah. So yeah, that's been my experience. Hell.
Very heavy stuff. No, that man is absolutely mad. Like absolutely mad. That was genuinely sexual harassment. So I hear why you were put off. You know what? Yeah, I always say it's good to find someone who's annoying enough to motivate you to never want to see them again. That's how you find the ginger to pass by force. You have to find someone who's annoying enough where it's like, I need to pass this test because I cannot see you again after this.
Yeah.
Because with that guy, there was so many times where I was just tempted to go, I just end it all for all of us. For all of us. I was ready.
You would have been like,
I literally just wanted to. It's also true. I was like, I don't mind going as long as he goes too. I can't do it. If I do not pass, I'm gonna off us all. We're all going down. I could not hear it again.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So I have some news to announce. I am officially a cat mum. I did. I was gonna say give birth. We got a kitten last Saturday. And I know I need to explain myself because...
Explain your hypocrisy, your brass
I know in the few episodes back, I was firing shots at a particular cat. So I just want to clear something up. I hate all pets apart from my pet.
Our pets are now cousins, by the way.
That's fine, but I don't need to like Sorrel.
I resent you.
That's fine. I like my cat. I don't like anyone else's cat. I can tolerate them, but I don't like them. And you know how I found out that? So just so everyone knows, the cat's name is Chukwuemeka, which means God has done good, so much good for us. Ibbos, don't quote me in the comments, please. And his nickname is Chooks. So it was very much last minute. Me and my husband were talking about getting a pet of some sort, whether it's a cat or a dog, for a very long time. Now, we're not necessarily allowed pets in our building, but I am of the thought that if I'm paying the mortgage, you can't tell me what to do in my property. So we have a cat. At least cats are easy. They're semi-independent. They're clean. You know, easier to hide, etc. Cool. So what I forgot is that I'm actually scared of cats. So when we actually went to go pick up Chooks, I immediately was reminded how terrified I am. And the poor owner was like, oh, do you want to carry him? I looked at her like, are you insane? This cat with the bare back
he's
claws.
so small as well.
He's so small. So
such a baby.
Obviously, I couldn't make it known that I was scared of him because, again, like, one, I don't want her to judge me, and two, like, I'm gonna have to get used to this cat. So I carried him. Obviously, Chooks is petrified. He's depressed because all his siblings have been sold already. His mum is not even looking his way. Sis looked at us and just walked away. She's like almost like taking.
She said, "It's yours now.
It's yours now, sis. I don't want anything to do with it." So she's walked off. I'm like, okay, cool. I need to hold him. I can't make it look like I'm shook. My husband's now looking at me like, "Girl, I know you're scared. Do not drop this cat." Comes onto me immediately. Claws come out, clinging onto my top, trying to crawl down my leg. I can't even contain the fear. I screamed.
You're so embarrassing.
My husband had to come and grab him and hold him. Maddie's wearing a puffer jacket, all black puffer jacket. So I think he just assumed that that's his mum. My boy was clinging onto my husband, literally for the whole car ride.
Yeah, when they're nervous, Let
me tell you how unprepared I was. When we got there, she was like, the owner was like, "Oh, do you have a carrier?" Me and my husband looked at each other. I was like, "What the hell is that?" It's like, "Oh, yeah, I do. It's coming on Amazon. It was supposed to come like before we got here, but it didn't come on time. I had to think quick on my feet because you're not about to know that I'm a scatty parent." Get into the car. I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like, just hold him."
These times you knew about the carrier because I told you.
Yeah, but I didn't think I thought I'd need one for like the vet. Not to pick him up. I thought she would have like a blanket or something. She just gave us the kitten bareback. Nothing.
What, not even like a little package?
Just the fur on his back.
No food,
just
no toy.
The fur on his back. Not a toy in sight. No, and I didn't see no toys around. I didn't see any toys around the area that I was in her house. So we're carrying this cat. I literally have 3 toys that I've picked up. Like on a whim just before I went to go and pick him up. Obviously, he's petrified. It's his first day, so we get home, trying to comfort him. I gave him a few like treats, etc. My guy falls asleep. I'm guessing from the trauma. If you see the way this cat was breathing, when I say, I had to Google. I was like, okay,
this
cat breathing
is so
fast.
much fun because Stephanie messaged me. She's messaged me when she picked him up. So it was Saturday night. Yeah, it was Saturday night, and I'd already started, enjoying my Saturday night. And actually recovering from enjoying my Saturday night. So obviously she messaged me saying, "Chris, is the cat supposed to be breathing this fast?"
No, you're saying it calmly, like to say I wasn't shouting. The text was in capitals. I'm trying to find out if Chooks is dying. Sis ain't responding. She responds to me the day after.
When I woke up.
Chooks could have been dead and gone and buried.
There was a lot of tequila.
And you're texting me now to say, "Oh yeah, that's normal." Yes, I figured it out, Sherlock. Because he's still alive.
So we went through this panic as well. And when I saw the message in the morning, I turned to Mal and I was like, "Oh, Steph is asking about the breathing thing." So kittens breathe very fast, especially when they are nervous in a new space. So they'll breathe like their tongues move in and out. That looks really weird, I'm sure. Anyway.
It was giving dog, but go on.
Well, it's rapid tongue moving.
Chooks did it in an elegant way, so his mouth wasn't open, but bros,
his mouth wasn't open?
No, because he was sleeping.
Oh.
And I just felt so bad. So, like, I think I overdid it. So I was like giving him treats. I tried to give him cat milk and he wasn't having it, which makes me think that his mum was not breastfeeding him. Sis just wasn't interested.
Poor Bob.
Sis wasn't interested, but he did settle in quite quickly. And I would say by the next day, like, it was like he's been here forever. And he has been a joy. He has been a blessing. And to be honest, as someone that's been afraid, well, I'm not afraid. I find cats very sneaky. I would say that Chooks has definitely changed my outlook when it comes to pets, but I do still hate all pets apart from mine. And you know what? I found out. I didn't know that pets are allowed in pet stores. So I think I went to, is it Pets For You or something like that? Went to one of the pet stores to pick up some food for Chooks. I'm now walking in. I see 2 horses that are claiming to be dogs on leashes in 1 hour. I'm like, well, even if the kitten food's there, I'm not going in that hour until these men move. So I'm like, okay, let me just walk around and style it out like I'm just looking for something. I kid you not, next hour, French Bulldog. Next hour, Bull Terrier. I said, I can't. Why are there so many pets in here? I'm here trying to keep calm. Like, okay, I'm like, I can't show that I'm shook. But these man need to know that I'm the starter parent. I'm still trying to get used to animals. Don't have your dogs come near me. And you know these people, these pet owners, they're like, oh, he's friendly. Oh, he likes you.
Because they generally are.
Tia, when I say, I was like, okay, I need to get this kitten food. I need to get out before a dog that I cannot take walks in. I'm there rushing. I found the kitten food. Luckily, there was no like animals on that aisle. Quickly got the kitten food. Ran to the desk. I said, I'm bringing out my card. I'm shoving trying to bring out my card as I'm walking to the till so that I can just literally, the moment she scans, I can pay. I get to the till now. The woman with the 2 horses that are claiming to be dogs comes up behind me, line up behind me. When I say, I turned to tap the card on the card reader, one of the horses just jumped up on me. When I say I lost all shame, I screamed the highest scream I could scream. So that they know that I'm not that kind of pet owner. Please, I only like chooks. You see your horses, keep them to yourselves. The poor woman at the till was like, oh, no, it's okay, it's friendly. These 2 horses can take me on. Why are you bringing these 2? What? Even if you need something from the shop, are you telling me that you packed these 2 horses in your car?
Yeah.
I said, let's go to the shop.
Because no, but it's most likely like they're taking them out for a walk and it's like, oh, like, I might as well go because I can take them in the shop.
It's a retail park.
Yeah.
Surrounded by dual carriageways. You're not walking. There's no house.
Oh.
The nearest house is about 2 miles away.
Oh. Well.
So now every time I go to a pet shop to buy Chuck's food or a toy, I have to rush. And I'm literally on edge because every time that automatic door opens, I don't know if there's going to be a horse there ready to eat me. These people, I need everyone to exercise self-awareness. Okay? There's levels to pets. My small chooky chooks and your horse of a dog, 2 different things. Even if they're friendly, keep your distance. I beg you. Please. Please. And every time, and it always feels like every time there's like a dog or something I'm running away from in the pet shop, the people at the till are always asking me if I want to sign up for membership. Do you think I have time? I'm trying to tap my card and go. You're saying, oh, why don't you sign up?
You need to get used to that though.
Like,
you need to actually
grow balls. Get a discount. I was like, I like my life. Let me tap my card and go.
Grow up.
No.
Grow up.
They need to grow down. How about you want to bring your horses into the shop?
It's a pet shop. It's for them.
I don't care. You don't have to bring them everywhere. Then what about people like me that are still trying to get used to things? Is it by a horse that will teach me?
Yeah, it
no. I don't even know what you're doing with a dog that big. What are they training for? Why do you need a dog that big? What are they guarding you for?
They're very friendly, those ones. They're really nice.
Because they're not aware of their size. So in their heads, they're
so
small.
like small dogs, you find they have short man syndrome.
They think they're
bad boys.
You see chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are the honey badgers of dogs. They think they can take anyone down. Big or small, they stay beefing on my estate.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do.
Dogs, you know?
My favorite thing on my estate to do is just watch dogs beef. Because it's always the small one that will start shit. The big ones, they're just gonna walk by, get to the park, do their little shit, do their little wee, and move on. You see the chihuahua, they will spot you from a distance. Their back is up. That's not know they're about to attack. They'll stop, look, their back is up. All of a sudden, they're going ballistic with their collars on.
Little high pitch, like
ballistic. The owner's trying to drag them back. They're like, no, stop holding me back, bro. Stop holding me back, bro. Even the big dog is scared.
These times you'll get eaten. One bite.
They will, like suya. They will finish you.
Oh my God. But talking about that, yeah. I've had experiences and I can't wait for you to start experiencing things with Chucks. And obviously you have.
Mm-hmm.
But like the experiences I've had with Sorrel, oh my God. So like there's one time, so eventually you're going to come, when Chucks hits puberty, great experience. Great.
I've already set up the plan for him to get castrated, so it's fine.
That sounds so hard.
Sorry, neutered. But they literally
so
say castration on there.
So hard.
As I was holding him, as I was reading the price list, I looked at him, I was like, you don't even know. You don't even know the plans we have for you, boy.
You're so good. So like the type of home we are, you know, we like kind of natural stuff generally. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, we kind of looked at that process and like, do we need to do it? Isn't it a bit inhumane? Cool. Huh? Stephanie, inhumane what? This girl, when she hit puberty, so obviously she'll be dragging her lower half on the floors, whatever have you. Obviously she's not a boy, so Chucks will be humping things. So that's yours, where Sorrel will just drag, and yowl, right? So it got to a point where like in the night, it's not even a meow. I was like, what the? When I first heard it, I was like, what's that noise? And it's Sorrel yowling, right? So cool. We got used to the fine. Then one day, and I'm not the most emotionally stable babe. Do you get what I mean? But one day Sorrel's now started twitching. Her back started twitching, right?
Mm.
And I'm like, this isn't a on heat sign we've seen before, because she's been on heat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, what's going on there? So I've gone and bloody typed it into Google.
Oh, don't do that.
You should never do.
They said Chooks was having a stroke. And then they said it was a neurological disorder.
That is
That's
what
I was texting you in capital letters, like, please, because I don't even have anywhere to bury him. It's just going to look suspicious on my part. And when the cat dies, who do you report it to?
Who do you report it to? Who?
How do I clear my name to say that I didn't kill it?
Do you get it? So, neurological disorder has come up. So apparently my cat had been so stressed that she now feels pain in her body, but it's from her brain, right? So it's not actual muscle pain. It's just she gets shooting pain. And it's because I've stressed her out too much. So I've been cuddling her a lot. So I believe I'm sitting there thinking I've caused this. Stephanie, I didn't 11 till 4 a.m. I did not sleep. I lay in fetal position in my bathroom, holding on to Sorrel's paw, saying, I'm sorry. Like ugly cry from the pits of your heart. Like, you feel it here.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, haven't slept. Malachi's in his room sleeping peacefully, and I'm fuming because our cat is sick and you're sleeping soundly. Why did you go to bed? Why? When I told you something was wrong. So anyway, 4 o'clock in the morning, I've messaged my friend who was a vet. And I've been like, girl, I think I've given Sorrel this neurological disorder. I can't remember what it's called, but I stated it. And then when she went awake, 5 o'clock, she wakes up. She's like, girl, FaceTime me. Let me see this cat. Showed her the cat. She's like, girl, get that cat neutered or spaded. One of them. It's one of them. She's like, I told you to do this ages ago. I was like, yeah, but we think it's a bit inhumane. She's like, that's just heat. Stephanie, I had been up all 6 hours of the night crying in fetal position, holding onto her paw because babe was horny. When I tell you I booked that appointment, I said, I'm not doing this to myself again. I'm not doing this to myself again.
Yeah, I'm not. I've already planned ahead. I've already planned ahead. Sorry, Chooks, I love you, but if you help my leg, I'm actually going to go insane. Once it's fine. But if you're like actively following me around the house to try and seduce me.
And they will.
And because... they will. My friend's cat, literally, he's got a female cat. His cat, when it was on heat, would just back her little cat vagina up on him. As in, that's how, like, literally just backing it up. She will literally walk in front of him and turn around and just expose.
Sorry, did that to Malachi loads. Just
expose it. Like, literally trying to seduce him. So for me, I had to plan ahead to make sure that I don't go through that traumatic experience, because I'll never look at Chooks the same again. Knowing that he looks at me like that. I assume he looks at me like a mother.
Right now he does.
And if he tries to change his dynamic, one of us will have to leave, and it'll probably be me.
But this is why it's an open conversation. Like, Sorrel will like, when she was on heat, Malachi was her best friend. Me, I love her.
You were in the way.
That was her man.
You were the side chick.
And when I'd walk into that house, she'd just look at me like,
why is she here?
Why are you here?
Malachi, you told me you left her. Why is she back?
She'd be sleeping on my side of the bed as well. She's like, girl, you're really trying to take my man. You don't realize.
You are the inconvenience. You are the side chick in your own home.
Baby.
But yeah, that's my current journey. As a cat mum, I shall keep you updated. I will put a picture somewhere here. I actually will put a picture this week. Apologies for last week. We'll fight for our lives. but I will put a picture somewhere. But just before we wrap up, shall we do a Reddit Realness? I've actually switched it up this week. So instead, you lot love the dilemma from last week. The comments on TikTok were interesting.
Yeah, very.
Some of you man were getting personally offended. Calm down.
Very rattled, guys.
Be coming down. Be coming down. We don't need to hire private investigators. Some of you man were like, yeah, nah, he should. You know what? They didn't tell nothing. Just leave. Let the suspects kill her. Some of them are like, nah, that's the thing. I'm like, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. But anyway, I came across this really interesting thread on Reddit. It's not a dilemma, but I just thought it was hilarious. One, because I can relate to it as an ethnic person. But two, some of these submissions were wild. So basically, the question is, what is the wildest thing you have seen your colleague eat in the office? Mm-hmm. I'm going to read some submissions for you. One of my ex-colleagues years ago brought in mackerel curry. Do you know what it is to look at mackerel and say, yeah, let me curry that? On top of that, bring it to work and heat it up.
That's crazy.
You're trying to kill everyone. Just burn down the office. There's more to it. He said, and proceeded to eat it for his breakfast at 9:15 in the morning.
Gains. That's a gym bro. That's a gym bro.
Eating mackerel curry for breakfast.
That is a gym bro.
He said he heated it up in the communal kitchen via the microwave. The office floor where he consumed it, open plan, smelled for a couple of days. He was given a verbal warning. Do you know, I've heard of some of this, something like this happening in one of my previous workplaces. Apparently the woman used to always bring in fish and microwave it. And obviously our office was open plan as well, but it used to stink so bad that they ended up giving her, I think it was 2 warnings, and then they ended up getting rid of her.
What?
So that's when I learned that it's antisocial. It counts as antisocial behavior to actually bring in
You're
smelly
joking.
food. Hey! Me that used to bring in beans, bring in mashed and rice. I stopped it immediately.
That's crazy.
Someone, and this one rattled me. Someone said a male colleague would eat a tub of plain cottage cheese, as in microwave it until it's piping hot and eat it. No seasoning.
That's definitely
it
a
looks
gym bro.
and smelled terrible. I was like, that's definitely a gym bro.
Gym bro. He said protein.
There was
protein.
One of my exes used to be like a proper gym bro. And one time he offered to cook for us, innit? Never allow a gym bro to cook for you. Bro mixed tuna, eggs, and cottage cheese and made an omelette for us. Now, bear in mind, I'm lactose intolerant.
It's got a cheese sour.
Tia, I can't even describe the texture. Cottage cheese is sour, like it's got this like soury, almost like Greek yogurt taste.
Yeah.
Again, I'm lactose intolerant. When I say I crawled home.
Bubble.
I crawled home. The cramps were so intense, yeah.
Bubble.
I was on the 25, 25, the bus. Literally bent over on the other seat. Because of literally. So yeah, that one right with me. And then someone else said, not weird, but once someone in our office microwaved cauliflower rice and we all got sent home as someone thought it was a gas leak. Fire brigade called, gas board, police sergeants, HSC, the lot.
You've got to leave. Don't come back. Don't come back.
Don't come back.
Don't come back. It's not worth it.
Don't even wait for them to give you a warning. Just clear your desk.
Leave.
In fact,
it's not
beat them to it and send an email there and just say, I resign, full stop. Don't even allow them. Don't discuss it any further. Just go.
It's not worth the embarrassment.
Was gutted for some people as they left their car keys in the office. So we're stood around the car park till 7/8 p.m. Evacuated at around 11:30 a.m. So they were in the car park for about 8 hours.
What are you
can't
doing
come back.
Then?
You can't come
when
back.
When you've put that level of inconvenience.
Some vegetables aren't made for meal prep. I know they like to deceive us on TikTok especially. But there was one time, I fasted up myself. I made this like air fried broccoli. I like air fried broccoli because it makes it a bit more crispy. It makes the vegetable a bit more fun.
Toasted, yeah. But the smell?
I made the mistake of bringing that into work. Christian, I said, I opened the corner of the container. Straight ass crack. The food is smelling like poo. I was like, I can't eat this. Do
you know what has that?
I had to throw the whole container in the bin.
Broccoli, cauliflower has it, and cabbage.
Yeah.
sea cabbage, and these are all of veg. When you have it at home, when you're packing it, it's calm. It's nice.
It's fine.
Good, it's good.
Smells
All
lovely,
gravy.
flavoursome.
They're like, you're gonna, baby, don't worry. I'm gonna give you nutrition, girl. You safe with me. You'll come into the office.
It's that journey between home and the office, that commute.
It turns on you. They turn on you.
It's like it ferments in the container.
And the cabbage
starts
says,
producing gas. Like they're
when you
farting up
open
in
it,
that place.
When you open it, it says, honey, I'm here. And I'm going to let everybody know.
It smells like straight fart. You can't, don't do it to yourself.
It's so embarrassing.
This is why I said meal prep it should be reserved for home. Sometimes don't bring it into the workplace. You see me, I know not to bring my food that I eat at home to work because you see, the moment I press start on that microwave, it's going to be a long day for everyone.
I've had that. I've been that person. And since that day, never again, Stephanie. I'm having salads. When I bring it in, I'm just making sure that everything is inoffensive. So
no smell.
So I was working at like an e-commerce place, thank God. So this is in the industrial site. And we have this brilliant, fantastic, I might even make it this weekend, dish called meat udang, which is like essentially a noodle, a soupy gravy noodle dish made out of prawns, right? But it contains this ingredient called belacan. So belacan is prawn paste, essentially. So imagine crayfish or stockfish mixed with fish sauce.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, crayfish. Crayfish will do the job.
It's pungent, right? So, cool. Obviously, it's a great dish. So I've had it at home. And yeah, it makes a smell. Like even when I cook it at home, Malachi, obviously, he's not Asian. I'm the Asian one. So he'll be like, what's that smell? Because he's not used to it as such. You get what I mean? So even at home, it has a smell. But when you when it cools down, no smell. Great to eat, whatever have you. So I love it. So one day I'm like, oh my God, we have meat udang at home. I'm going to have that for lunch. Completely forgetting.
They had crayfish.
There's the smell, like strong belacan smell. So cool. I warmed it up. And you know those moments as it's heating and the smell is just leaking up
and stronger,
and you realize the mistake you've made.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
And you have to scramble before one colleague comes and says, "What's that smell?"
And that is what happened. That is exactly what happened. People started opening windows.
Oh no!
I said,
"You gotta leave. You gotta leave."
And I was like, they were like, and someone came in. What's that smell? Because they were like Turkish, but like East End Turkish.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So he came in like big lad, but friendly, but like, what's that smell? Very open, like. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, it's me. It's me. I just brought food from home.
You're good for admitting, boy. I would have left that site immediately.
Stephanie,
I would have been at my desk like, I don't know.
Stephanie, never again.
That thing will stay in there all day. And I'll wait for everyone to leave before I go and collect it back and go eat at home. There's no way.
Never again. And now, I realize, like now, even when I bring things in, there's always sometimes you ever get this where you'll smell it and be like, is it worth me opening this container? Yeah. Or I'm going to just buy food. Like.
Do you know the amount of times I brought food into work and I've looked at it, I said, if I open this thing, I'm going to have to explain myself. I just keep it in the fridge and I go and I buy food because it's not worth it.
Yeah,
and then you have the people that start asking you questions now.
What's that?
And then it feeds into that whole narrative that, African food smells. So I'm just like, instead, to reserve the peace, to keep my peace and my mental health intact, let me just go to the canteen or let me go outside.
Word.
Because the thing with Nigerian food is that about a good 70% of it does have crayfish in it. So the moment I hear that thing, you just know it's Niger, Bolagun Market, Ibadan, in the middle of the office. So I just rather...
It's true. Why do that when you can just have prep?
But please. But then them lot, they'll bring in their vegetables and shit. I know we're saying anything to them, but the moment the ethnic person press start on that microwave, what's that? That looks interesting. Yes, it is interesting. It's got colour. Leave us alone.
What's that?
Oh, I said, yes, that's seasoning you're smelling. No, actually, it came to the point in the office where when someone would say, like, what's that smell? We'll say seasoning.
Really?
Because what do you want us to do? What? Anything we warm. It's seasoning. Now what? But yeah, I thought that was a really interesting thread for this week. But don't worry, we'll try and mix in some messy dilemmas and some like humor as well, because you lot seem to have loved that dilemma from last week. But yeah, should we move on to adult fan of the week?
Yes.
Cool.
You go first.
I feel like I spoke a lot.
You go first.
I feel like I spoke a lot.
Yeah, you go first. You've got to go first.
No, I literally just said the title.
Yes, you've got to go
And
first.
I
have
Realness.
planned this, so you go first. Keep this in. We go first.
My adult fan of the week this week is the Fenty Gloss Bomb, the Heat version in the shade Hot Cherry. Now, my story behind this is that I first came across this shade via Rihanna, actually. So she put this shade on, I think in one of her Instagram videos, etc. And I thought that's a really pretty color. But I thought it wouldn't look good on me because obviously Rihanna's lighter than me. But I was really after a lip gloss that I can put on without any makeup and still look put together. So I finally took the jump and I got the lip gloss. And when I tell you, I put that thing on and I was literally like, wow. You can look crusty. When I say the bummiest of bummy, put that lip gloss on and automatically you look put together. I know that the Heat lip glosses come in different shades and I'm actually a big fan of them. I would recommend the hot chocolate one as well, but definitely hot cherry for the girlies, especially like the darker skin tones that want to kind of move away from like the nudie pink that we keep running to and actually go for a more natural shade that still has like a tinge of pink in it. Defo recommend. It's definitely my go-to for when I'm going to work and I have a bare face and I just want to look put together. And it just makes me feel a bit, it makes me feel, it's a bit feisty. It's a nice shade. It's different from the stuff that I had before. Again, I feel like I've always have this habit of going towards the same shades of pink because we all want that nude lip gloss look. But I think this is a nice way to kind of start experimenting and stray away from that. So defo recommend. I believe it's about, it could be £22. I will double check. But yeah, the link to the products, and I forgot to mention this last week. All of the adult finds every week will be linked in the description box on YouTube, and in the description box on Spotify, etc. So if you are interested in any of the products that we're talking about, feel free to go down and click. You don't get paid for it, but we're putting you on. So, what about you? What's your adult find of the week?
So this is a special one. I'm gonna give you my adult find of the week because obviously graduation day and as that and that. So hold on. I've got it here.
Another gift. I feel so loved. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Also, this is the hot pink coat I was talking about in our first episode. Yes. Oh my god, this is lovely. What is it?
The adult find of the week is in there.
God. Oh my god.
Right.
Yes.
So let me explain this, right?
Oh, sorry. Oh, my whole weekend is. I love you. For once, I actually love you.
Right,
I love her. This is all it took. Not the 20+ years of friendship. This is all it took to break me down.
So, you all know how Stephanie loves a pistachio cream, right? So I came across this week and it was life-changing. So this is Damac. It's from Nestle and it's essentially chocolate-covered pistachios, but there's a whole set. So this is just a chocolate-covered pistachios.
There's a set, guys!
This is dark chocolate with pistachios.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We've got baklava chocolate. This
No.
is baklava white chocolate.
No! What the hell is going on? I thought I won the lottery.
This is just milk chocolate with pistachios.
Tia.
And this is like a pistachio bitty white chocolate. There you
Tia.
go. So there you go, in your little cereal box.
What the hell?
Your grad
Look,
girl.
my graduation photo. No, Tia, you've earned yourself a copy of my official graduation photo. I'm going to order it and I'm going to send one to your home framed. This is all it took to win me over. Not the 20 years of friendship. Not all the trials and tribulations. But the chocolate covered pistachio nuts. I want to cry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So much. Where can the people find this? I don't even want them to find it.
You can find them online, I think, but yeah, it's just if your local corner shop. Do you know what? They normally have them in like the kind of Shoreditchy, like, you know, those kind of corner shops that will sell like oat milk and almond milk and like also like fresh kind of, not fresh, but dried fruit and nuts and stuff like that. Those ones.
No. Do you know what it is? That baklava in chocolate.
That is so elite. Ah, it's so good.
Guys, if I find it online, I will link it for you guys. But just know this whole weekend is a write-off. I'll change my life tomorrow. I'm supposed to be eating healthy, but it's just gonna have to wait. It's gonna have to wait. Excuse me? This is all they talk. If you act like this every week, we won't have any issues. You can use whatever emoji you like. You can claim me as your wife. This is what we needed. Pistachio was all we needed to strengthen our bond. I'm going to go back to hating you next week. But for this week...
I did a thing this week.
Enjoy the love.
I did a thing.
I'm going to love you better. I'm going to love you better. Oh, God.
Right, guys. So that's been us for today. Thank you for watching.
Like, comment and subscribe.
Give us a little 5-star. Give us a little 5-star.
Rate it on Spotify. Do all the things. Sorry. Pistachio. Thank you so much for tuning in.
And we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.